Hello, everybody, and welcome to Joker's Wildside Reviews. I am Lobo, and today we're going to be reviewing, better yet, making a list of the top 10 wrestling matches of the year. There was a lot of great matches this year, uh, up and down the cards from Japan, New Japan specifically, um, to AEW, to WWE. So I'm going to give up a few honorable mentions before we get started with the list. The first one will be Statlander and Willow Nightingale and All Out. That street fight, very good, very physical. Definitely brought up these girls. If they weren't already in a higher standing, they brought them up for sure with this one. All in Tony Storm versus Mariah May for the women's title. The story in it, the storytelling was very good. And then previous to that, Mariah turning on Tony after she won the tournament. So that's a good one. The final stand from Sting. Oh, excuse me. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks at Revolution. Crazy match. Sting getting the old Sting pump up at the end of the match. Oh, excuse me. And to win, Darby Allin trying to kill himself like every match, but it was so good through the glass. And the Young Bucks putting over Sting at the end of his career. Great work all around. Very feel good moment, especially that entrance with his sons. Very good. We have the triple threat for the international championship. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Takeshita. That match was very, very good. Will and Ricochet were trying to go at each other, and Takeshita was always being the one that breaks it up or being the spoiler. He retained. Great match all around. Thumbs up for those three guys. And then the final one, I think I had one more. No, two more. Sorry. Both of them are IC title matches. The first one is the WrestleMania 40 match, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. The reason I'm putting this here, or as an honorable mention, it was a good match. Personally, like this list are, it's a personal list. I didn't think Sami Zayn was the one to be. I get why they did it, and not ragging on Sami Zayn. It's just I personally think it should have been Braun Breaker to elevate him after beating Gunther with that historic run he had with the IC belt. Um, that's why it's an honorable mention. It's still a great match. But in a year filled with great matches like lately it's hard to get into this, or it's hard to make any list like this, to be honest with you. And then my final one is the IC title match, triple threat, Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Kaiser. This match was fucking amazing. It showed Sheamus obviously coming back, crowd big time behind him. Kaiser showed a different side to him, definitely more character work, but also showing that he has a mean streak in him. Also, didn't realize he was that tall. He just looked in the thinner side, so I didn't realize his height was what it is. And then Braun Breaker just doing his Braun Breaker thing, flying literally from one spot, flying through the camera to hit Cat Kaiser. You do not see him, and all of a sudden you see him flying. Great, great wrestling match. But with that said, first remember that these is my opinions. So if you don't like any of my picks or think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Um, Tell me who you prefer to be in there, the match I missed, or your own top 10 list. Let me know down there. But at 10, I'll have Zack Sabre Jr. and Brian Danielson. Um, like I said, this is a great match. Um, I said this in the best wrestlers video. This is probably one of the best technical matches I've ever seen. But excuse me. Uh, as much as I do like technical wrestling, it is not saying bad about it. I love it. It is not my favorite style. So those matches, not always, but sometimes get pulled back a little bit. But this match, still with what it was, and the way these two masters of technician showed what they could do, it's got to be on the top 10. And I have my number 10. And my number 9, I have personally great. I think one of the best matches of WWE this year. Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight title. This is after the King of the Ring when they had that fiasco where his shoulder was up. So this was for the title. Um, it showed the edginess of Randy Orton coming back. Uh, Gunther putting a great showing. Uh, the physicality, I loved it. This is such a good match. That's my number 9. At number 8, I'll have a WrestleMania 40 match: Bailey versus Io Sky. I mentioned in the best wrestlers too. Io Sky made it there. Check it out. Um, but Io Bailey did a great job as well. The entrance was could have been better for both, but Bailey definitely had a beautiful entrance. I'll say it like that. But Io Sky definitely showed that she is, if not one, the best wrestler in the world, female wrestler, and one of the top wrestlers. Period. Just alone in this match, she did some crazy stuff. She did her. I mean, what she could do is amazing, and she should be champion again soon. At my number 7, I have this one's a little bit of cop out, but you could pick any of the Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. Was it Kyle Fletcher? Uh, I think so. I'm I think so. Hold on, let me double check it. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher. Jeez, brain fart. But any of their matches they had this year, I think they had like 4 or 5. Pick any of them, are all fucking great. Um, for me, the one at World's End was so freaking good, especially for the semifinals of the Continental Classic tournament. Uh, but yeah, I mean, both of these together are magic. They're very similar styles, but Kyle is starting to show he's a little different. So he's definitely gonna be a future champion. I'm pretty freaking sure, especially if he keeps going the way he's going. But Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, any of their matches, number 7. At number 6, it's another pick 'em. Pick any of their matches. Swerve versus Adam Page. They've had banger after banger after banger this year. Um, from their unsanctioned match to their death match to I think it was a triple threat where with Samoa Joe, I believe that was it. But you could pick any of them. They are amazing. Uh, this I hope they bring it back next year. This rivalry, not immediately let it rest a little bit, so they could bring that sourness, the hatred towards each other, because they are magic together. So that's my number 6. The last two have been a little bit of a pick 'em, but I think that's the only ones I have like that because they had so many matches together. At my number 5, I have Will Ospreay and MJF at All In. They have a few other good matches, but that one to me, from the entrance of MJF with the flag coming down and him as the stars, that was great. Um, the work in this match, the story they told in this match was fucking amazing. MJF really is very good at telling stories, but Will and him together are also very much magic. So that's my number 5. At my top 4, a lot of people would have this higher. It is a WrestleMania 40 match, but it's Cody versus Roman for the title, a Bloodline Rules match. It's a great match. It's a beautiful WrestleMania match, but that's what it is, a WrestleMania match. It is bells and whistles, as they say in a few others. They bring everybody and their mom interferes. Um, it gets the pop, and that's what WrestleMania is. It's a an experience, um, joyful returns, surprises. That's what WrestleMania is. And for the moments, the match itself, before everybody came in, it was great. After all that stuff, it was still good. But to me, it was not the best match of WWE. Period. Uh, but that's my number 4. Cody and Roman, still one of the best matches of the year. At number 3, I have the All In match for the world title. Bryan finally getting the AEW Championship, beating Swerve. I mentioned this as well at the Top Wrestlers of the Year. There was the whole match was great. The way Swerve was setting up Bryan to be seen by the family, for him to see the family as Swerve was beating the shit out of him. The only problem I have with it, and it's the only reason I bumped it when it was either going to be 2 or 3. it was not going to be number one in my opinion. But reason I bumped it down is when he was hit in the head. I don't remember with the foreign object, um, where he started leaking or um, bleeding. It was not the spot where he was hit. Unless I missed something, it was not the right spot. But like I said, that's a little nitpicky. That's why I brought it down. At my number two is the best WWE match in my opinion of the year is Punk versus Drew in the Hell in a Cell. I mean, this match was the burn off to a rivalry. It was bringing back the Hell in a Cell and actually making it mean something. It was is those blood feuds. That's where Hell in a Cell always used to end. The last few years, it hasn't been that way. Um, there's one here and there that are good. I did like the tag team match, New Day and Usos years ago, but this definitely brought it that it was this blood feud, the hatred with each other, and you saw it. Punk with the Crimson Mask, Drew accidentally being led the hard way with the toolbox Crimson Mask. The when he brought out that bag, I thought it was gonna be tax. No, it was even better. It was the same beads that of the bracelet that Punk had. Um, when he missed that claymore into the edge of the steel steps, it looked horrendous. It looked like it hurt like a bitch. That is what a Hell in a Cell match should be. Carnage everywhere. But that's my number two. They did a great job with that. My number two match, Hell in a Cell, Punk versus Drew. And my final, the best match of 2024, in my opinion, is Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. I mean, this match had it all from technical, high flying, storytelling, the physicality of it. So good. Bryan Danielson at this time was still barely changing to have some momentum to become champion, but this match was so good. Um, I mean, you heard my list. Will Ospreay's in quite a few of them. Danielson's also another one or two. So them together is immediately gold. So that's my number one. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Like I said earlier, this is just my personal opinion. You have the right to disagree. Let me know what will you change, what matches I missed, because I'm sure I missed some. Because there is a crap load. I'm pretty sure I missed a few from the Independents as well, or possibly TNA and all that. But let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what other wrestling videos you would like me to do or react to. I will also be doing reactions, but remember to be grateful for everything you have. Be grateful for the problems you don't have. It could always be much, much worse. I've been Lobo, and this was Joker's Wildside Review. See ya.